All right, let's go. First video. All right, the first video we're going to check out is the Marcus Rios official speed and conditioning workout. It's got lots of views. Let's check it out. So, the first exercise is overhead A skips. This is really good if you do for long duration. You could do 3 sets of 1 minute. That seems pretty egregious, but if you already have decent technique, so maybe you're intermediate or advanced athlete who runs maybe sub 5.0 in the 40 yard, you don't need to keep spamming technique drills. What you need to do is improve the structure of your ankle complex and everything like the tendon, the calf. So you can do that with extensive plyometrics like skipping, jump rope, or an overhead A skip that also influences your posture on top of everything else, right? So you don't need to do it for 10 yards if you already have good technique. You're not going to really learn anything. You might as well just do it for a long duration. Pop flow sprints. This is not a bad drill, but what I see, right, just from the eye, is that he's driving his knee up versus punching the ground. So if you're trying to teach your body how to pop off the ground, popping off the ground comes from vertical displacement, which means putting force into the ground. So don't drive your knee up and try to jump a little bit with the calf. I want you to drive the knee into the ground and then pop off, pop off, pop off, kind of like you're doing a mini bound and getting some air time, right? So instead of driving the knee up, let's push the floor into the ground, floor in the ground, floor in the ground, floor in the ground, and right now he's just doing the opposite. Straight leg bounding is great for developing the upright sprinting and your 1 foot bound, so this is a great exercise. Sprinter stance posture holds. I like this a lot, but I would do it for a shorter duration. 3 sets of 5 to 8 seconds is really good for improving your acceleration because we're contracting the calf and the Achilles tendon and giving it max strength development with no load because it's just an overcoming isometric. You're not actually putting barbell load onto the Achilles or the calf. So I would just do it for shorter durations and get more strength out of it. You can contract your glute. Single leg switches are okay. If you're not a beginner, right? You're intermediate or advanced athlete. You probably get more from, you know, sled marches, from sled sprints, stuff that actually forces your body to produce force horizontally while maintaining the good postures and angles that you need to hit that he's hitting in these drills. So it might be better just to do something like a sled march, which I think he actually ends up doing right after this. Yep, so I'm already talking too fast. You do a sled march or sled sprints to teach your body the same thing, but it's more transferable to your sprinting. Broad jumps is one of the best exercises to improve your sprint speed, especially in acceleration. So overall, we're doing pretty good. I like all this so far. Push-up starts is one of the best ways to improve your acceleration, especially if you're racing someone or timing yourself. So we like push-up starts. And then I think he does another one. High rest between every single set, of course. And then med balls, even better for acceleration and teaching your body how to project. And then, cool down. So overall, good workout. Great way to start off the video. The next one is explosive and speed workout. Let's get straight to it, right? So the first thing we see is a very intense exercise. I would not start off your workouts with intensive exercises, especially this is an intensive exercise for long duration. Anytime you're doing intensive exercise, so that's a hard exercise on the joints, you want to do it for short reps. 4 to 8 reps is probably that rep range I would go around for maybe 2 to 4 sets. I would not go 30 seconds because you're just going to overload the patella tendon, put too much stress on here, too much stress on the Achilles tendon, way too much stress. I would especially not start off a workout like this as your warm up. This, in my opinion, doesn't improve your speed at all. The best thing about this drill right here is that you're dropping into a split stance position, which is really transferable to your acceleration because force absorption is really important for sprint speed. Now, the fast feet thing, like all these feet drills, there's no difference. You want to see, like, let's look at him do it right here, right? You see what he's doing with his feet right here? All these drills. What's the difference between this and this? Please tell me. Is this improving your sprint speed right here? Is this how you run faster? Like, I need to know because there must be something I'm missing. What's the difference between this, what he's doing with the feet, and this? Nothing. All right. A lot of these drills are speed feet drills, lateral drills. They look good. They look like you're trying hard. They look like you're running as hard as possible, but you're not putting a stimulus on the body, right? Tapping your feet is not a stimulus on the body. The best it can do is it's an extensive plyometric for your ankle. You're adding context to the ankle, which can be good for injury prevention and some extensibility, but it's not actually putting a stimulus on your body. And then obviously dumbbell squat jumps are great, but there loses transferableness, so your ability to transfer to your speed, when you get into this position, which usually means you're jumping with too much weight. So when you're in a complete hinge position, that is not transferable to anything besides maybe acceleration, which is okay, but we're trying to run faster. This is an explosiveness and speed exercise. So when trying to jump higher or run faster, you want to keep your torso as vertical as possible in all your lifts and plyometrics. So when you're going to a full hinge position, that's the same thing as doing a deep squat, which we already know in some of the research does not transfer to sprint speed unless you're a beginner, right? So probably too much weight. And then once again, we're into these feet drills, guys. Like feet, look at the feet. What is the difference? Does this improve your speed? Like, put it in the comments. Please, please enlighten me about how tap dancing improves your speed. All right. So I'm not trying to be rude, but it's a bad exercise or it's a bad workout. I don't really know what we're doing. Right. Next one. So once again, I want you guys to remember the tap dancing for the rest of this workout because I already recorded all this, but we had to re-record. So remember the tap dancing for this whole workout. This is okay, but if you're not a beginner, right? There's no learning to be done. That's what speed drills are for. Sprinting drills, technique drills are for learning, motor learning, right? Once you learn the skill, you have the skill of good sprint technique. The only thing you can do is add stimulus and load to function, right? If you have dysfunction, so you have terrible sprinting technique, then yes, you need to improve the function, which is technique drills. But if you already have good technique, you need to load it. Load it with momentum, with plyometrics. Doing in-place drills like this is the same thing as doing tap dancing if you already have the skill of it. Like in sprinting, we're trying to produce force into the ground, and then you have a band around your foot, and you're like, oh, let me drive my knee up. That's the opposite of sprinting. Sprinting is driving the knee and the foot down, not up. Right? We're not trying to drive our knees up. We're trying to drive our feet down, which will give us good knee height. Once again, this drill is pretty intensive on the ankle. I won't act like it's pretty good for like lateral plyometrics on the ankle. And even this drill right here, like, yeah, we're putting our ankle, into some weird positions. But guess what? What does this look like? What's the difference? Like, please, like, enlighten me. What is the difference here? All these feet drills, everything where we're just moving, what is the difference? That's not a stimulus on the body. Maybe the central nervous system kind of gets some fast twitch adaptations, I guess, but that's not how you get faster. Getting faster is about producing force, absorbing force, and projection, and good posture, right? Like angles, right? Hitting the right angles, which is the same thing as projection, right? If you don't have those, you're not going to run faster. Your feet, tapping your feet like it's a keyboard, is not how you run faster. That's not how you produce force into the ground. So, like, I'm not trying to hate on all this, but like, come on, look at this. Look at this. Wait, no. We're not done. Look at this. But the reason why I'm harping on this so much is because every single TikTok video I see is this. This is not bad, right? So we're overloading the soleus, especially if you go into a calf raise in an isometric position, good for reducing compensations and improving the tendon. Overall, the workout, 2 out of 10. Oh, wait, drop jumps, that's not bad, right? So the ceiling is a little bit too low, but drop jumps, the goal is to jump as high as possible, as fast as possible, which is really good for upright sprinting and even acceleration. So as long as you have enough space where you can jump high without hurting yourself, is always going to be a good exercise because max intent is really important for improving your athleticism. So not bad. I give it a 3 out of 10. So let's go into the next workout. Increase your speed at home. Let's see how good this one is. So the first one is going to be isometric hold. That's good, right? We're going to reduce some compensations, improve the tendon, stuff like that. Not too bad, right? You don't need to do the dumbbells here or the weights. You just don't need to. And then the soleus is not bad too, so you're raising the calves to get a little more soleus. That's not bad. That's good for acceleration, right? So we can keep moving forward. Next one is resisted plyometrics, or even any type of plyometric where you're holding something in forward is forcing your torso vertical. And when you're forcing your torso vertical, that's more transferable to sprinting and approach jumping, which is pretty much like what you do when you dunk, right? So this is not bad, right? Overall, pretty good. I wouldn't do it for the duration. So if you're doing, max effort jumps, then I would do 4 to 12 reps. If you're doing extensive plyometrics, which is kind of what he looks like, it actually looks like you kind of do like a jump rope type plyometric, so extensive. You can do it for 30 seconds to all the way up to a minute. So that's how I would change the reps. This one's a little more intense in the body, so I would usually go lower rep range, 4 to 8 reps. You can get really sore in the glutes if you go way too high, like 25 seconds or 25 reps. Not bad though. I like the basketball in front because you're forcing your body vertical. When you just let your hands hang, it's not bad, but you could also start leaning forward, which is not going to be that transferable to your sport. Overall, I wouldn't say this is a full speed workout. It's not really a stimulus to improve your speed, but if you can't do anything, this is not terrible, right? So I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Remember, guys, if you have big biceps and you have abs, you are certified to talk about speed training on TikTok. All right? That's all. I just want to let you know that. Just in case you didn't know, especially if you have blue eyes, green eyes, pretty eyes, you have abs, and your biceps are this big, you can literally talk about whatever on TikTok and you will get views and you're credible. Like, it doesn't matter if you train anybody, you're extremely credible. Just it doesn't matter that the top 10 coaches in the world are all fat. As long as you have abs and biceps, you're better than them. Just saying. So this one, man, it's actually pissed me off, right? So the arm speed thing, I'm gonna get a lot of hate in the comments if people are watching this. The arm speed thing is a huge misconception, right? Arm speed improves foot speed, right? So your ability to put the foot into the ground. That's what most people think. Your ability to put foot in the ground does have to do with your arms. If your arms can't keep up, then yes, your foot is not going to move as fast, or stride frequency is what people are looking for. But I'm going to give you a different perspective. You need for good stride frequency is vertical displacement. So when you put force into the ground, you have to launch your body up and get air time. So you need to be in the air sprinting. That's like that slow motion air time. Once you get that, if you have enough vertical displacement, then you need something called thigh angular velocity, right? That's how fast your thigh and your foot can drive back into the ground and land under your center of mass. If that happens, good, right? Where you're landing on your center mass over and over again, and you have a high reactive strength index, so your ankle's strong and it's stiff and it can land on the ground and pop off fast, then you will have fast strike frequency. Your arms will move with your legs. Your arms do not dictate your legs. It's not forcing your legs to get to produce force into the ground, right? The back arm swing can help because it's a sling from the back of the arm to the glute, which more glute force production is faster speeds because the glute is probably one of the most important muscles for your sprint speed. But doing this is the same thing as doing this. So maybe if we're actually trying to improve the speed of our arm, that means we need to get our arm stronger, which means getting our arm stronger is the lat, right? We need to improve lat strength from stuff like pull-ups, lat pull-downs, single arm dumbbell rows. I wonder how that looks like sprinting. A single arm dumbbell row or a barbell row, look how you're driving your arm back like you are sprinting. Oh, wow. Not, we're actually boom, boom, boom with heavy weight, improving the strength. That way when we're sprinting, we can produce more force back, which gets more force into the glute. The more force you produce in the glute, the more force you put into the ground. The more force you put into the ground, the more airtime you have. The more airtime you have, the faster thigh angular velocity you have, which means faster stride frequency. Oh my God, how simple is that? God, watch the rest of this video. Okay, leg day for speed and explosiveness with a college wide receiver. So far, so good, right? We got loading up the soleus in an isometric hold as a warm-up is great to start off the workout. I like it. I love it. Then we're doing quarter squats. So quarter pin squats are a great way to produce force production at joint-specific angles to sprinting, right? Wait, look at this right here. Oh, wait, I'll get the next one. Oh, yep, and he's loading up the weight. Perfect. Look at right here. Look at this bottom position. This is very similar to upright sprinting, right? Max velocity sprinting, that top end speed. You're improving force potential by loading up that angle and then producing as much force as possible, which you can't do, maybe he can do 4 plates in a deep squat, but most people can't do 4 plates in a deep squat. So you're going to overload with 3 to 4 plates in that quarter squat and then improve force potential at the joint angle specific stuff you produce force from, right? So he's going 3 plates, maybe all the way up to 4 plates, and you're going 20 to 30% above your deep squat 1 rep max. Once you do that, you're improving force production at joint specific angles, which is how you sprint faster. It's you produce force into the ground. Wow, that makes okay. So next one. Look at this angle right here. You see how short this box is? A lot of people do step ups and they have a super high box where it's like right here where my mouse is, and all of a sudden it's not joint specific anymore. This is joint specific. This is a sprinting stance. This is how you look when you put force into the ground, and he's improving that by producing force with that barbell step up. Great exercises. The last 3 exercises he has done. Notice he's a college receiver, right? So he actually probably has speed. Great exercises. Overall, a good workout. I like it so much. Banded dumbbell goblet squats, not bad, right? You're loading up the patella tendon. If you want to load up patella tendon, you should keep your torso vertical. When you hinge backwards, it's more of a glute and a hamstring exercise. So keep the torso vertical, overload the patella tendon, so you can build a little more strength and resiliency in that knee. For people who might have jumper's knee, or they might have to do like high jump or long jump, you need to have a little more structure and resiliency there. Same thing with here, dumbbell jumps. I've been talking about this all day. You want to keep that torso vertical. When you do too much of a hinge, it can transfer over to acceleration, but not bad. Overall, still good though, right? Resisted dumbbell jumps, trying to jump as high as possible. It's clear that he has max intent. He's trying to jump as high as possible. That's how you get better, right? And then max average jump without resistance. So this is like some type of French contrast PAP methods. That's not bad, right? So you're loading up the movement, jumping as high as possible with 10 to 20% of your body weight, then jumping as high as possible without the dumbbells is a great way to improve force production and explosive power, which is important for sprinting and acceleration and max velocity. Overall, I like this. I would do this at the beginning of the workout. So I would do the isometrics, then the resisted jumps, then the unresisted jumps, then the corner squats, then the barbell step ups. Overall, this is good info, right? This is good info. This is helpful. People will actually get better from this shit, right? I like this. So that was the TikTok workouts. A lot of them were fucking ass. Get better. I'm not trying to be rude. Like, you could take it as I'm being rude or just being OC and doing this for no reason. But if you're posting shitty content, I'm just gonna say it's bad. It's not that complicated. Nothing's personal. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but when it's bad info, it's bad info. Get better.